Shane Walsh, thank you for your time. Tell us a little bit about TeraNet.
Well, TeraNet is a project at the University of Western Australia, funded by the Australian Space Agency, the University of Western Australia, and the WA state government. It's the Southern Hemisphere's first optical ground station network. So it's a network of ground stations fusing optical communications for ground to space instead of traditional RF communications. RF communications are great, but they're kind of at their limits already. So we are creating more and more data all the time, and we're at a bottleneck where we just simply can't transmit that data any faster using traditional RF. So the way around that is using optical communications. Optical communications can provide very high throughput data links. Even the most basic implementation can provide up to a gigabit per second, but with some very clever tricks, you can get up to terabits per second. So this here is TeraNet 3. This is the third of our optical ground stations. It's a fully mobile, completely self-contained, rapidly deployable optical ground station. It can drive to any remote location and deploy, and within 15 minutes be ready for a satellite downlink. This is a world-first capability. There have been similar ground stations done in the past, but they usually require pretty substantial setup time of hours. But this is fully rapidly deployable day or night.
And what's the advantage of being mobile like this in the back of a flatbed truck?
So as great as optical comms are, there is one main drawback, and that is clouds. If it's cloudy, then you're kind of out of luck. So one of the ways around that is to have multiple ground stations. You have them separated by a distance that's close enough that they're sort of in the same coverage area, but far enough apart that the weather's not correlated. Or you could simply have a ground station that just drives to where it isn't cloudy anymore. It's also useful in situations where you may not need a fixed station. For example, defense may not need a permanent station, or in a disaster area where you need to rapidly deploy some infrastructure to re-establish connectivity.
And this is going to be pretty critical as well as we enter a new era of space exploration. We're looking at Artemis, we're looking at missions to Mars and stuff like that. We've spoken to the Tidbinbilla tracking station as well about what's next for this communication, laser-based and optical. It's just really about that throughput now, isn't it? Because we need to do more, faster.
So for context, the original moon landing in 1969, they had about a 50 kilobit per second bandwidth. And even by 1969 broadcast standards, they had to severely degrade the signal to transmit back to Earth. So imagine now we're having astronauts about to land on the moon in a few years' time. We want to see that in nice, crisp 4K. There's absolutely no way to do that with radio. The only way is with optical comms.
Fantastic, Shane. Thank you very much for your time. Looking forward to more from TeraNet.